Hey guys, thanks for clicking on my video. Today I got a special one for you. I'm going to teach you how to make the perfect steak. Stay tuned. So, as promised, I told you today I'm going to teach you guys how to make the perfect steak. Of course, we want to know what steaks we're cooking, right? Here are some top sirloin steaks that were purchased from Costco today. As you can see, you get 5 steaks here. Just over 27 bucks. Right? So not a bad deal. So I'm going to unpackage one of these guys and I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. So as you can see, these steaks I just showed you, they're pretty big, okay? We're talking maybe 1 inch to 1 3/4 inch thick already. So what I want to do is I'm going to actually take one of these and I'm going to fillet it and cut it in half and make 2 steaks out of this. So this package here that I just showed you guys, you're actually going to get 10 steaks out of this instead of just the 5. So when cutting this steak in half, you want to make sure that you got a couple things, okay? You definitely want to make sure that you have a good knife, at least a good sharp knife. And this here is the Ultra Source, right? This was this is probably one of the sharpest knives I have, and was one of the best purchases I have, especially if you work with meat a lot. I purchased this on Amazon, and it was like 12 bucks, 12, 13 bucks, something like that. So, as you can see here, we got our steak, right? And this is how it comes out of the package. That's pretty thick. You were to put this on the grill, this would be a pretty thick steak, okay? What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to turn this, and I'm going to cut this. I'm going to fillet this steak in half. And by doing so, number one, it's going to cook a little bit faster on the grill. And number two, well, I'll get to double. I'll get to double the amount of steaks that I have. And remember, you can always put these in the freezer. Okay, so here I'm just cutting right down the middle. And like I said, this is by far the sharpest knife that I have. And I can fillet this and actually get 2 steaks out of this. Okay. So next, after you fillet this, and remember, you don't have to fillet it. You could have kept it intact if you want to. Totally fine. But after you fillet this, what we're going to do is we're going to season it. Salt, pepper, some steak seasoning, and then we're going to get it ready for the grill. Okay, so the first thing that we want to do when we're going to season these is we want to start off with some salt. Okay, so we're definitely going to crack some salt on here. Okay. We're just going to season these things. And remember, we're going to do both sides, right? So a little bit of black pepper. And remember, when you're seasoning your steaks, especially when you're doing it this way, if you wanted to, you could stop right now. That would be perfect seasoning. You can do regular salt and pepper and you'd be just fine. I've had many steaks come out that would have been perfect that way. In here, I'll show you here too. I'm using some just some basic seasoning. Montreal steak from Grill Mates. McCormick makes this. I think I got this at Costco for like $7, so it's lasted me quite a while. And I'm pretty generous with it. I got to remember that when these are going on the grill, some of this seasoning is going to fall off. Okay, so I just happen to particularly like that seasoning, so that's what I use. And I put a little bit extra on because I know something's going to fall off. So I take my hand and kind of press it in there just a little bit, and then I'll do the same on the back side. Get that salt again. And then we'll get the black pepper. We'll get some of that pepper. We'll shake that on there. Okay, and then again, we'll get that Montreal steak seasoning on there. And we'll put that on. Now, almost done, but not quite. I'll press that in there a little bit. And I also like to take these and just kind of roll it up here on the side and get them edges. I like to get those edges when I'm cooking the steak and season those edges as well. There you go. Yep. All right. So a lot of folks like to, after they're done seasoning it, they like to let it sit out and get to room temperature. You can do that. I personally, I do not. Usually what it does is as soon as I take it out of the fridge, it'll be ready to go to the grill for me as soon as my grill gets hot enough. So I'll tell you what, we're now ready to get these babies on the grill. Let's head on out there. Yeah, it's a hot one. It's a hot one out here today. It's definitely not going to take this thing long to get going. In fact, if you look up here, I'll zoom in there so you can see it. I turned this on not even 2 minutes ago, maybe 3 minutes ago, and we're already at 400 degrees. So actually what I'm going to do is that's actually perfect. All right, so I'm going to lift this up. Now that this grill is pretty hot, what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay them down, and as you notice, I'm going to lay them at an angle. Okay, I'm going to lay these steaks down at an angle, and then kind of pat them down just a little bit. I kind of want them to be nice and firm up against that grate. Okay, so now they're cooking, and the next step, close the lid. Leave the lid closed. You can tell that whole time I was talking, it's already dropped down to about 300. Now it'll climb back up pretty quick. Okay. Remember, as that temperature is climbing on the grill, you want to leave that lid down for probably about, we're going to go 2.5 minutes. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to rotate them. Okay, so once we rotate them, we're going to go another 2.5 minutes, and then we'll flip them over and do the same process there again. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take the spatula, and you can see how they're angled this way on the grill, right? So what we'll do is we'll get up underneath them, and all we're going to do is angle them this way. Okay, we're just going to angle them this way now. Okay, and you still want to give a nice little press on there, make sure that they're sticking there, and that's good. Remember, we cut these in half, so when we cut these steaks in half, they're not going to take as long to cook. And then we'll drop the lid. And it's been in about another 2.5 minutes. So now what we're going to do is after we placed them on the grill, we rotated them. Now what we're going to do is we're going to flip them over, and then I'll show you why we rotated them right now. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we are going to flip them over, and now I'll show you why is, there you go. You get that nice checkered mark on there when you flip those over like that, and when you turn them. So now we'll leave them like this, and in that process, of course, you always lose a little bit of seasoning, so I'll add a little bit more, a little bit of pepper, and then I'll add a little bit of more salt, and then again, of course, lid down. And it's been about 2 minutes, 2.5. What we'll do is we'll pick them up, and now we want to turn them just like we did the first time. Okay, and then we'll put a little press down here. We'll get a little press, and here we go. And then we'll close this again. And it's about time. So these things are coming off the grill. We're going to place them in a pan, right? And there we go. Now, while those are sitting there, one of the best things to do while this is still hot, and you don't have to worry about it for next time, clean this off. Don't just turn it off and be done with it. Clean those grates. I can turn all the power off here. Clean these grates while these are still hot. That way next time when you go to grill, all you have to do is pretty much just turn it on and you're good to go. You don't have to do any cleaning. Okay, so now that those are clean, what we're going to do is we're going to look at these steaks here. We're going to let these rest. These steaks are going to rest for at least 5 to 6 minutes, okay? I'll meet you back up in the kitchen, and I'll tell you about the sides. Okay, so now you can see that we're back in the kitchen. Here comes the best part for me, okay? What we're going to do is we're going to take these steaks out, and we're going to put them on the cutting board. They've now been resting for about 5-6 minutes here. I'm going to put them on the cutting board. So we're going to see exactly how good or how bad of a job we actually did today. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys here when you're cutting this. And you can cut this in half. I told you I would like to go for a good medium when I'm cooking my steak. I don't like medium rare. It's a little bit too rare for me. Well done is a little bit exactly too well done for me. I like a little bit of juice, and you can see here, I'll put this up to the camera. It's got a nice little pink. It's just pink. No blood running off of it. And that's the middle of the steak. That to me is that's the absolute perfect way to make a steak right there. Cook a steak. I like a medium. So we'll put that together there. And so cool. Yeah, you guys just seen me cook this steak here, and I told you that there was going to be a secret, right, about the sides. Well, you can't just have a steak. You got to have steak and what? Steak and something. So for us, we're going to do mashed potatoes and gravy. But there's a trick. As I pull out my dish here that I'm getting ready to plate this steak on, you can see that when I do the mashed potatoes and gravy is I go to KFC. So go to KFC, get yourself some mashed potatoes and gravy. Your steak's already done. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this mashed potatoes and gravy with this steak onto this plate. Well, there it is, guys. There's the end result. Got your steak, mashed potatoes and gravy. And I'll tell you what, there's only one thing left to do. Let's try it out, huh? What do you say? Get a little bit of this. Perfect steak. Put a little gravy on that. Why not, right? Fat kids like gravy. Oh, that's good. Yeah, that's good. I tell you, sometimes I even impress myself. Of course, the mashed potatoes and gravy are good, and what that does is, I'm telling you, it just sets off the rest of the steak. But when you can put them together in one bite, like this, yeah. Guys, give it a shot. Give it a try. I promise you. It's great. So, hey, do me a favor, okay? If you like this video, please like it, subscribe it, give me a thumbs up. You know, never planned on doing anything like this before, but this is actually my very first YouTube video. So, hey, do me a favor, man. Like, subscribe, and I promise you, I'll catch you down the road. It's time for me to chow down.